Good morning. In this Monday of Holy Week, I trust that the sermon on Palm Sunday concerning both the servant of the Lord and the Lord being one and the same person, this is the person that made atonement for our sins. This is the person that came to save us. It wasn't just a mere man or only a man, but he was God in the flesh. God with us, Emmanuel, born in the manger, is the one who made atonement for our sins, who did not grasp being God so tightly that he refused to let it go. No, even when the cross beckoned him, he would not assert being divine, but gave his life as a servant of the purposes of God to love us. Today we read about the corollary to his entrance into Jerusalem, humble riding on a donkey, the clearing of the temple, and it comes from Matthew chapter 21 verses 12 through 17. I'd invite you to read that. This morning, though, I'm just going to read one particular part for our devotional today. It reads, "The blind and the lame came to Jesus in the temple, and he healed them." The blind and the lame were brought to Jesus in the temple. The temple is the place of reconciliation that God himself had assigned. The temple and the idea of the temple is not a man-made idea. It wasn't something that Solomon came up with. The temple is the idea of the Lord himself. When he brought his people out of Egypt, he instructed them to build a tabernacle. And that tabernacle was in place as a traveling temple until the day he established them in the land. Having established them in the land, he assigned the temple as the place of grace, the place where he would relieve his people of their sins. Every healing miracle in the Bible is a sign of God's compassionate goodness and mercy toward us who suffer. That's true. But it is also a sign of forgiveness of sins. Every healing miracle in the Bible is a sign of God's desire to relieve us of the consequences of sin. And that only comes through forgiveness. So Jesus heals the blind and the lame. The blind are representative of those who cannot see God, who cannot understand God, cannot make their way to God. The lame signifies those whose legs can't walk in the ways of the Lord, can't walk in the ways of God. It is Jesus, through his cross, through his sacrifice, that gives us eyes to see God as God truly is in him, and gives us legs to walk in the way of faith. Brothers and sisters, may God grant us eyes and legs all the days of our life in honor and in the name of his sacrifice that he gave for us. God bless your Monday of Holy Week.